Good evening, everyone. So today we'll be talking on one of the things that scales and speeds the rate of a business, and that's branding. So you need to understand what is branding, but let's start with what's a brand. A brand is the image, the feeling, the reputation people have when you hear their name, their product, or you experience their services. What are we talking about? When you see Zenith, you are thinking about, you already know it's a bank. When I tell you Indomie, you know it's a noodles. When I tell you Jumia, you know it's a shopping app. So this is a brand because anytime it is mentioned, anytime you see it, it represents something. So we are not going to delve into branding. What's branding? Branding is the perception people have of a company, a product, or an individual. So the thing that they feel anytime they see your product is building that perception is branding. So another way, one of my mentors always say this. He says that branding is the intentional process of shaping how people feel, see, think about you, your product, or your services. That means branding is not just what you stumble into. I've gone to study about the most viewed TV stations, the most viewed services, the most viewed churches, the most viewed events, the most viewed companies. You get to understand these things did not just come normal. They came because somebody strategically designed it to be like that. So what are we talking about? We're talking about that, okay, when you think of let me use in Christianity. When you think of ENI, that is Apostle Joshua Selman. This is the name of the church, but he has a program, he has programs, and then he successfully found out that one was something that people wanted, and that was Koinonia. And then up to today, because that name is a name that is accepted by all, that name became the brand of a church. People don't know the name of the church, but they know the service in the church. This name then became the brand. So the first law of branding, because branding has laws, the first law of branding is expansion. The second, followed by the second law, that is contraction. So when I talk about expanding means the more you escalate your brand. So you were a shoe company, and then you became popular in shoe. Then because you thought that you became popular in shoe, you decided to start going to making furniture. So you are expanding your brand. And I tell you, coming in the next years, if intelligent investors and intelligent entrepreneurs get your product, they are going to destroy you. You will just go like Nitel. So when you expand your brand, expand who you are, it changes the perspectives people have about you. I can't tell you how much Dangote pays to sustain his name. I can't tell you how much. But that man pays a whole lot to have his name retain the prestige he has today, because his name is in the cement, his name is in food, his name is in this one. That name has changed. But do you know one strong thing I believe? He built the name before destroying it. He built the name. So that is why anytime you remember Dangote, you remember that it's cement. But nowadays he has moved to sugar, moved to other things. So all these other brands, they have publicity, they have advertisement, they have quality, they have name, they have word. So when you think of Jumia, the first thing that comes to your head is shopping. When you think of Nike, it's a shoe. When you think of Adidas, it's a sports wear. All these things are named. There is something, a strike, there's a word that comes to you. So I designed all these in 5 stages. So the 5 stages of a business growth, if you're branding. So the first stage is the foundational stage. That means these stages are the stages where you pick what you are going to do. You pick the direction you are going to. You stick to those directions and you make that direction visible. What do I mean? The first one is that you contract your brand, and then if you are the first in it, you publicize it or you advertise it. Visible explanation. When Jumia was coming into the market in Africa, it was the first, right? So the publicity, what it did was to publicize. But when another company wanted to enter into that same category, what do? It's advertised. So when you are coming to a category where there's another person already there, you advertise. When you are the first person in there, you publicize. Number two, you have to mind control. I say mind control. What do I mean by mind control? That means you change the perspective of the name. There are some places that answer Genesis. There are some places that answer Genesis. What's Genesis? Genesis is the beginning. But they took that name because they loved the name and they changed the perspective around that name. There are some places where you call Genesis, it means a restaurant. So you have to then mind control what people think about a name. Somebody saw a name, Google, and loved the name, and do you know what he did? He took the name and changed the name from becoming an eyeglass people used to wear to becoming a search engine. And up to today, anytime I call Google, the first thing that rolls on your mind is a search engine. So number three is to build a brand identity or a visual power. What do I mean? You have to then build the brand name, build the logo, build the color. So all these things is the third stage. The fourth stage is the brand structure. What do I mean by the brand structure? The brand structure I mean by how you divide the brand. I don't know if you know this company. The name is PZ Cussons. PZ Cussons are the people who owns Mamadon. They are the same people who also still owns what's that? Morning Fresh. They are these same still people. They are still the people who still own they still own other products. When you look at Coca-Cola, under this name Coca-Cola, they have over 200 brands under this name. But you know, and one funny thing I got to understand in all these 200 brands is that though they are diversifying, all of them are still drinks. Recently, they just acquired Chivita. So Chivita is now part of Coca-Cola. That's why when you pick up your Hollandia yogurt, beneath it you see a product of Coca-Cola company. That is branding. So you don't just, before you make investment, you must know whether it suits your brand. Don't just pick investment. If you feel that you love this thing and you want to invest in it, you invest your money and choose another name. Don't pick your brand to match into it. You're a real estate company and then you see that food industry is something you like, and then you just take your name, your known name, into the food industry and you think it will work like that. No. In branding, if you break a law, it will cause a damage for you. It's just like a dam. Any crack on it, it won't show, but when time comes, it will break. And the last stage is scaling and legacy. Scaling and legacy is what you now do to keep that brand. These 5 things are stages in branding. I have short time. In my next video, I will be demystifying each of the stages to suit you.